I won't lie, as a fantasy freak, I will say that having a map in your book is an absolute must. So, obviously, while I was writing my fantasy series, The White Raven Tales, with the first book, Crown of Shadows, which is publishing Halloween 2025, I had to make a map. So I sketched one. Why? Because I needed something simple to figure out how long it will take for my characters to get from A to B, where they come from, and also not to mix those things up. Because it may be really hard if you don't really have a sketch of anything like this. But the moment came and I secured my publishing deal, and then I realized that no one in the world would ever look at my little sketch and think, oh, that's nice, I get it. So as a strong independent Lexie, I have decided that I can make a map myself. And with this intro, you probably know where we're going with this. Let's talk fantasy maps. Now, the most important question that probably you ask yourself as well, do you really need a map? Well, is your book talking about places that are not real? Did you create a brand new world? Are you planning on making your story in more than one place? Because, yes. I mean, if you plan on all of the action to happen within one castle, be my guest, I would still make a map of the castle so people know where things are and how big the castle is. But still, yeah, sure, you can try and not make a map. Good luck. I think we all agree by now that the map is a must. But do you make one yourself or do you hire someone to do it? Generally, this one's up to you, but let's discuss it and I will give you an example of how I did it and then how someone else did it. Now let's start with making a map by yourself. You can start with throwing some rice on paper, or if you have an idea already, sketch it. I've actually seen some people using this pasta that's kind of like U-shaped, and I think I saw it somewhere on Instagram or something like this, but it seems to be working for some people. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, I guess. I personally sketched mine out of my mind. I didn't use any pasta, rice, or anything else. I just had an idea of how things should look like. Or you can use digital tools such as Incarnate, which is the website that I personally used for creating my map. Now, just a little warning for Incarnate, the learning curve is steep, really steep, and it was harder than I anticipated. Now, keeping in mind that it was a really steep learning curve and it was harder than I anticipated, behold the first map based on my sketch. Don't even comment on that. It's that bad, I know. So that was the first draft of my personal map. And once you have it and you have all of the cities and the important places and probably mountains and rivers and stuff like this, add some forests. Because let me tell you, the forests, bogs and stuff like this actually helped up my map. But still, behold this atrocity. It was bad. I also added ships for ports and a Kraken. For what reason the Kraken's there, I'm not entirely sure, just I like Kraken. So the question remains, should you actually make a map yourself? Me? Absolutely not. You? If you have enough patience, talent, skills and things like this, be my guest, but me? Absolutely not. So let's talk working with a professional. There's obviously a couple of benefits to it. They actually know the sizes for maps and books. Joke's on me, actually, I don't want to talk about it. They know how a map should look like and what elements are important, and they have experience in creating biomes. Let me share you a couple of most interesting questions that I've gotten from the professional that I was working with on my map. Do you know where marshes should be? I did not. I didn't even think about it. Do you want any special frame of the map as they used to have them? Duh, of course. I haven't thought about it either. Well, I actually did think about it, but I just didn't know how to do it. Any graphic elements? Yes, the ravens, because the white raven tails. Also, a quote, you know that people used to live close to water and rivers? I kinda knew it, but I kinda gave up on making rivers because it was harder than anticipated and all of them looked like a freaking canal. So let's just agree that my map that I showed you before was of a questionable quality. But it helped the professional make this. I don't think we really need to do any type of a comparison with my older maps, but there is still a Kraken, there are some ships, I'm loving it. I think that the person actually used the same type of a software, they're just much more experienced in it, plus a Photoshop, because I got this file in Photoshop with a lot of really cool things. So this is basically the map reveal. If you haven't seen it on my Instagram, if you want to follow me on Instagram, this is the link. It's also down below in the description. I believe that we can all agree that this map looks much clearer, better, it's much more beautiful, it's easier to read, and it just looks like I care in a way. So this will look much better in the book, won't it? Plus, the ravens, they're so beautiful. Look at them, they're so cute. I love it. Now, I am not saying that you have to work with a professional. Again, if you have enough skill, patience, you want to learn those things, and it's something that you think would be useful, be my guest. It's totally not for me. I just decided it the moment I got the professionally made map, and I was looking at it and being like, wow, I suck. Actually, whenever I look at my own map, I'm just like, dear gods, it was so bad. And I was so happy to make it because I felt like I achieved something in my life, but let's just agree it was not good, okay? But even if you don't make your own map, there's a lot of things that you as an author still need to do to make your book as good and as presentable as possible. If you want to learn more behind the scenes of publishing a book or how to publish your own book, I have a whole playlist just right here, so be sure to check it out and be sure to subscribe for more stuff like this. I think this is all for today. I hope you enjoyed and you had a little bit of fun with my attempts of making a map, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, stay awesome, fam. Bye.